We're
Ah,
live.
yeah, after all that nice, calming, beautiful scenery. Welcome to Chaos!
It's actually that's a bit too high there.
Too high?
Yeah, we're
Okay.
spiking into there. I think this is a good volume level. I
All
see it.
right.
We're not muted.
All right. Anyway,
Oh,
I'm Cherie.
I'm Chris, and we're Technomatty Online. In case you've never run across us before,
If you
and
have, thank you for joining back in.
yeah, we haven't posted a video in just about a month.
I think it's a month since I posted our last video, and we have just been crazy, crazy busy.
Well, and we've been traveling. So in the past month, we last video was from a live we did in Texas, right?
Yes, that was when we were on our van trip across country, moving from our bus, which is parked in Arizona in storage, to here. We're in Savannah aboard our boat now. And the van we use as our shuttlecraft to get between the two and as our daily driver when we're living aboard either.
So we had this big cross country trip. It was actually a very rushed for us, but from Texas we went to New Orleans and got to experience a taste of Mardi Gras. And we got some. Had a really fun time there.
Yes, we got extra after our last live video that we did in Texas, just
Yes,
before
oh
we're
my God,
going
yeah,
into New
Serendipity.
Orleans. Cheryl Charming, Miss Charming, Charming Ever After is her YouTube name. She commented and invited us to her bar on Bourbon Street
Yes.
for a drink. Well, it turns out she's a world-class bartender, well known for kind of spurring a lot of the classic cocktail movement. It was an amazing evening. If you're ever in New Orleans, go to Bourbon O Bar. It is the most unique place on Bourbon Street.
No, not the most unique. It's
Okay,
the most
everything's
classy
unique.
place on
Yes.
Bourbon Street. So yeah, you got all the chaos. You literally have people doing the balcony stuff right out the windows, but then you've got amazing live jazz every night, and the best craft cocktails I've probably ever run across because she literally wrote the book on craft cocktails.
16 books.
16 books. And
Anyway,
yeah, so
the
go-
amazing thing about Cheryl is she is gearing up after 30 years in the bartending community and really doing a lot of the training, and she gets hired to create these places.
Yes.
She is moving to full-time RVing later this year, so I am so looking forward to meeting up with her on the road.
I want to be camped next to her and,
Forever.
and cocktail time. Let's do this. So yeah, we had this incredible experience at the Bourbon Oak Bar, all thanks to our last live chat and her seeing that you're passing through New Orleans. Come by my bar. So we love those serendipitous encounters.
That was
that
amazing.
happen
So
like
anyway,
that.
after New Orleans, we continued on to our Village Rally, which was in
Big
Live
Village.
Oak, Florida.
Somebody said it's too soft there. Okay.
And I moved the microphone a
Okay.
little bit closer to you.
Okay,
I think you
there
were
we go.
over talking it.
There we go.
Anyway, so we
Went to our Village Rally.
Went to the Our Village Rally, which was amazing. As you know, we helped launch Our Village 6 years ago. And so it's really cool to see what Our Village has done. It's an online platform for social networking with other RVers. You kind of check into your location, and you can find people around you to organize meetups and happy hours and things like that. So it's really super cool.
Yeah, but so this rally, they had 700 to 1,000 rigs and all sorts of fun stuff going on. We got to hang out with our friends, the Glamping Guys, and you can check their channel on YouTube because they've already published their videos that have a lot of our fun in it as well, of the stuff that we all did at our Village Rally, including Todd of the Glamping Guys tearing it up on the keyboards. He was the entertainer one night. And,
Amazing.
Yes,
Great channel, too. There's
they're fun.
They're really fun people. And we got to camp with our friends Sabina and Eckert. I don't know if they're going to make it this evening. I think Eckert's performing this evening in Sanford. So we were neighbors with them. So we got to kind of have a little encampment with them, which was awesome, our friends from Sanford. Then we went down and visited family. Chris's parents are currently wintering in Florida on the West Coast. My mom came over from the East Coast of Florida. So we had a really great weekend with them.
And then went up to Sanford and just fell in love all over again with the town. It was just a really quick visit, but stayed with Sabina and Eckert and got to see why we love Sanford. Anybody, whether you're traveling by RV or boat, go visit Sanford. Cool town. There's a lot of neat stuff there.
And go check it. Last year, we spent 4 months there aboard our boat. We fell in love with the town so much. There's so much to do there.
And yeah, one new tip. Speaking of cocktails, the since we were last there, the Suffering Bastard Tiki Bar opened up, and it is amazing.
And if you can't find it, it's inside of Tuffy's Cidery, which is kind of a little bit off the main strip of the downtown Sanford streets, but it's amazing.
And then you go through this little door, and they open it up, and you're in Tiki Paradise with more crazy craft cocktails. So, Suffering Bastard in Sanford, added to the list of all the amazing things we wrote about in Sanford last time we were
Sounded
there.
like we've been on a drink tour.
We need it. And also we've been in the van, so we haven't had a lot of space to spread out and do work, to do video production. We filmed a lot of cool stuff. Maybe someday it'll end up in a produced video on the channel. Who knows?
But yes, I just have not had time to do production. Doing production on my laptop, which you see here, doesn't work so well. I have a full desktop setup with a big screen and a real trackpad.
And that's all set up in the van.
It is, but it's
harder to use.
It's harder to use, and we just don't have time. And when we're in the van, we're doing long driving days, and then we're maybe doing a stop of 2 or 3 nights, and they're usually social stops, so they're filled with fun. So we're focusing on our work time on actual work, which is running the Mobile Internet Resource Center, and that's been keeping us super busy lately. So Chris does not have a soft voice.
Yeah, this is weird. I wonder if it's not liking me for some reason.
Anyone else having problems hearing Chris? Chris has a very loud voice,
yes,
so
I
he's
do.
not soft.
So, okay, the microphone is right in between us, and fingers crossed. Okay, but there's a 30-second delay, so they can't respond to us instantly.
Okay. So after Sanford, we made our way up here. We're in Savannah, which is where we left our boat in storage. We had it hauled out just before Hurricane Dorian in late August, I think that was.
So our boat has been sitting here on stilts ever since, and we left the boatyard with a long list of things to have done before we got back, so that when we got back, it'd be pretty quick and easy. Let's plop back on the water and back to living on our boat. But boatyards, just like RV workshops and any place like that, projects tend to go longer and be more complicated than people imagine. And so we're here living in the van, parked at the base of the boat. Hopefully we will be launching maybe as soon as tomorrow. But right now the boat is unlivable. It's chaos mode. This is our bed in the middle of the living room because our bedroom is a giant water tank where the bed used to be. And
no. The bed is the water tank has always been underneath the bed. You made it sound like they converted our bed into a water tank.
Well, no, but the water tank that's normally under the bed is sitting on top of where the mattress used to be. And yeah, so many projects underway on the boat. Some of them have been wrapped up over this past weekend, hopefully, and hopefully we'll be floating again
soon.
Soon.
So we had hoped that most of the projects would be done by the time we got here. That is very optimistic thinking. Boatyards always are behind, but a lot of progress.
They only had 6 months. I mean, they
only
tight
had
schedule.
6 months. Yeah. It seems like a lot of the projects didn't even start until January, so they kind of just had us in long-term storage.
Yep.
And I think they're a little overly optimistic that everything on the list could be completed by the time we got here.
Yes.
But
okay.
Whatever.
Once you're here and once we can be our own project managers, things can go a lot quicker. We can make decisions without having to do back and forth. And so, yeah, we're getting our boat in the water. Yay.
Soon, hopefully. So this last week was incredibly frustrating, though, because we had heavy downpouring rain, which, of course,
throws everything off.
Everything off. So no one wants to work in the rain, and a lot of the projects had to be done outdoors. So that was frustrating. And the shop also had mandatory OSHA training here, so that took our crew off the job. So
they have to learn how to be safe, which is important.
It's very important.
We approve of safe workers.
And we've had to practice our patience, which when you're just itching to get on the water, and I want the freedom of our boat to get away from civilization for a while if this COVID-19 thing really does create the
zombie
chaos,
apocalypse. Yes.
Whatever the chaos that could be inbound. I just want to be, we've been stocking up and provisioning so that we can be very independent. We have a water maker inbound so we can make our own fresh water. I think we'll be good if we can get in the water.
Yes, we can get in the water. The water maker won't do us much good unless they can make water out of air right now because we're sitting 6-7 feet off the ground right now.
Yes. All in our water tanks are out.
Yes, and our water tank's out, so we can't even make water to put into a tank because our tank is detached.
But it has been so nice to be back, even on the hard, even in the chaos. It's been really good to be back in the living space of Why Not.
Yeah. Even though we only have half our couch because the mattress is taking up some of it. We've been, actually last night, we binged The Expanse as our latest show on TV. So we came up here and pressed the button, and our Raise Up Magic television still worked. It's always good to see stuff works after you leave it behind for a while. And we had our big 4K binging fest, and it felt just nice to be back in our space again.
Yeah, so it's been really good. It's chaotic during the day when workers are coming and going, and that's what you want. You want them coming and going and getting work done. But it's been really good in the evenings just to chill out here, get a little bit of work done in our normal desk space. I love my desk here on the boat. But I am so looking forward to having that rocking motion again, having dolphins on our windows.
Dolphins. I want to see dolphins again. I haven't seen a dolphin in way too long. I guess I could take our names off of us. You know who we are. There we are. So that's
Yeah.
what we've been up to. It's been a very I can't. It feels like just yesterday that we were at the Escapers Bash and out in Arizona, but it also seems like years ago, all at the same time. It's been
A
since
blur.
since the beginning of the year has been a blur, mostly a good blur, but a
Yes.
blur.
It's been a very, very eventful year, start to the year, the first 2 months. I guess we're going into 2.5 months now of the year is on underway and behind us. But it's been mostly awesome. I mean, the bash, the community out there in Arizona, our co-op out there, the trip across country. Traveling in the van is amazing. I really, really love traveling in the van and having the van here on site to live in while the boat is in chaos mode is super, super handy. So thankful the boatyard lets us live on site in the RV.
Okay.
So good. We really don't have much to present on. We just like I looked at the date of our last video. It's like, oh my gosh, it's been a month since we've uploaded anything. We should probably at least check in, let you guys know we're still alive.
There's bizarre. I guess something strange with our microphone. We have no idea what's going on. That it doesn't like my voice tonight, but it's yeah. I'm seeing the sound level meters peaking, so it's definitely getting loud enough volume. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, we will take some questions and hang out for a little bit. So if you've got questions for us about our travels or about nomadic life, RVs, boats, whatever, we're happy to hang out and answer them for a little bit.
Yep.
Looks like a couple questions had
Yeah,
come
I'm just going
in.
to queue up the most obvious question is our travel plans this year on the boat.
We don't know.
Right now, our plan, well, we have a pretty specific plan is get in the water. So we want to travel about that way, about 100 feet that direction, and be floating. And after that, you know, we have not decided whether we want to go north or south or to the Bahamas or, well, those are basically our options. So
Right.
we might flip
I
a three-sided coin.
I think the Bahamas.
We'll see once we're in the water.
I don't know. I at this point, but the effort to get down to like West Palm where we could cross
Crossover.
easily, that's quite a journey. That's about a month to get down there
Yep.
at our pace. We could probably speed it up to about 2 weeks if we have good weather. And then getting over there, I mean, you're looking at not getting there probably at the earliest mid-April, and you pretty much would be over there a month before we have to turn around for hurricane season.
Yep.
So I'm just not sure it's worth it. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have
So
to
yeah,
see.
we will decide what feels right once we have the boat back together and we're caught up on projects and we just see what else is going on in the world. So yeah, we try not to plan things too far ahead, even in general. So you know, we steer by serendipity, and that leads us to great things like that encounter with Cheryl Charming and in New Orleans. So it's like we're always up for picking a new direction at any given time based on what feels right.
Yep. So yeah, we will see how we feel. I think after we are free of the boatyard, and I think the first stop is going to be finding the nearest anchorage that's secluded with dolphins and just be chilling for a week or two on
Yeah.
our own.
Yes, actually, yeah, that's probably our next top priority is dolphins. Oh, and here's Kiki.
Hi, Kiki.
And we want to call out the RV crazy crowds at Eckerd and Sabina and Sanford. And hope you guys we were just raving about you and you got your town. So hope you got the part of the video there.
Sabina just asked to see her
And-
Valentine.
Oh, yes. Here's your Valentine.
Kiki is doing really well. She is enjoying having 3 homes to move between.
And she knows them all. She recognizes
Yes,
them.
and she's really, really confused. Her biggest confusion, because the van is here and the boat is here, is where is dinner served? So she's never quite sure which one we're going to choose to feed her on. So she's always curious about going to either.
And she will hop up. She will lead you. For whatever reason, the other morning, she had water on the van, but she wanted to drink out of her water dish on the boat. So she pulled me by her leash across the boatyard, climbed the ladder, and went straight to her water dish here. For some reason, maybe it's better flavor. I don't know. It was just that morning she decided it. So yeah, she knows her way around. Okay, what else we got here?
Isn't there another question somewhere? Do you do any fishing on your journeys on the boat? From Josh Windsor. Do any
Oh, there
fishing?
we are. Josh, hey.
Do we do any fishing? No, we do not fish.
We eat a lot of fish. We make fish tacos, and we can't wait till this chaos is done and we can get our grill turned back on and get fish tacoing out there. But
So
we buy
number one, neither of us really has the inclination to fish.
yeah,
Number two,
Cutting the
fishing
heads
licenses. You have to keep up with them in each state that you're in, and there's equipment. So it's just too much. It's not of interest to us, especially when we can support the local fishing communities that we travel through.
Yeah, we actually love to buy fresh fish when we can find it, and sometimes fresh local fish. And so, yeah, great. I'm happy for other people to do the fishing. It's just never called to us. And How else is things?
J.M. Davis wants to know, have we had Kiki since young? So Kiki joined us when she was 7 weeks old. We found her at a friend's ranch out in Oregon. They had found
Three kittens
three baby kittens. They were all 1 week old in one of their chicken coops.
being raised by the chickens because the parents had apparently been killed by coyotes.
Or abandoned, or something happened to the parents. That was 11 years ago. And we showed up when the kittens were about 7 weeks old to visit our friends. And they all hopped up in our lap. And they said, "Do you want a kitten?" And Kiki said, "I'm coming with you. You don't have a choice."
Yes. So she adopted us. We were in our tiny little Oliver travel trailer. So it was a very small little cat carrier for the two of us and a growing kitten. But it was love, and yeah, she's been our constant companion ever since. We've taken her to the Virgin Islands. We've taken her when we upgraded to our bus. She's the one who picked out the boat. I mean, she basically picks everything.
She's
we do.
our admiral of the fleet. Now, it's with sadness that we share both of her siblings. They continue to live on the ranch. They both passed away in the last few months. So
yes, I know.
We're very sad, and
Been getting sad updates from the ranch.
Yes. Dennis would like to know, would we go back to Sanford? And going back to Sanford on the boat is in the list of possibilities that we are considering.
Yeah, definitely. It's a great place to go for hurricane season, which might be where Why Not ends up for hurricane season.
Yeah, it is one of the most protected areas you can be in Florida for hurricane season, so we feel somewhat good about that decision.
Yep.
And of course, we love the people there, and our parents or my mom is nearby, so there's good incentives to go back to Sanford.
The one catch with Sanford is we'd have to resist the temptation to stay all winter because we are really eager to do another winter back in our bus and back in Arizona. So yeah, Sanford would be tempting for the winter too. So we've got too many awesome winter options then.
That is a really tough problem to have. Is we have 3 awesome mobile homes, and we set out this last winter with the really evaluating if the bus would play a role going forward for us, if we would be comfortable just being boat and van people. And we love our bus so much. We love the co-op so much. So we're just going to have to deal with it.
We got to do it all and to get between them. And, we will love our boat again once it's floating too. We
love our boat now, even not floating.
Yes, that's true. But I'm looking forward to sleeping on the water again, a waterbed.
I can blow up the paddleboard, and you can go. I can tie you up to the dock over there, and you can sleep on the paddleboard.
I even forgot we had a paddleboard. Wow, that's down there somewhere, isn't it? Yes. Many things to pull out of storage once we get out of this chaos. Other questions, or this will just be a quick little chat. We just decided while we were driving up here today, just like Sheree was like, how long has it been? That's an interesting question from Chris Finn. He's asking, are our Great Loop plans on hold? And definitely not. Our Great Loop plan from the beginning has been to do the loop very slowly.
But definitely, when we started it, we were thinking more in the 2 or 3 year range, and then it became 5 years, and then we really started to find that we loved the monthly stays and cool cities because we were right downtown. And we just really found, I think we more identify as cruisers than we do loopers.
Yeah. It's like the loop is a general, because there's so much awesome all around the loop, but for us, it's not a race. It's not like we're trying to complete the circuit and get the gold flag. It's about seeing all the cool places, and however many years that takes to see them all, that's what it will be.
Right. And this year is not a good year to do the full loop because there are some lock closures on the lower rivers that will...
the Illinois River is going to be shut down for part of the season. So anybody who's doing the loop this year is really going to have to throw their schedule off or go on to a more extended plan anyway. So definitely not a rush. I mean, some people, they have only a year to do it in, and you can have an amazing trip doing it in a year, but the slow pace gives you so much more fun for our style.
Yeah. Right. So, we've been now... Oh, you know what yesterday was?
What?
We didn't even celebrate.
What?
Yesterday was our 3-year boat-iversary.
Oh, hey, happy boat-iversary. Why not? It's been 3?
3 years.
I thought it was longer than 3.
No, we closed the boat on March 7th, 2017.
Wow.
So we have owned the boat for 3 years and 1 day now. And other news, you want to share our big milestone?
What big milestone?
We paid off the boat.
Oh, yes. Okay, we paid off the boat.
Yes, so we originally, when we bought the boat, we decided instead of cashing out investments and paying capital gains taxes, and at the time the market was going nicely up, that we instead financed and just kind of just put away the payments so that they don't feel like we're making payments because they were out of kind of our acquisition
Yep.
threshold. And yeah, we've been able, after 3 years, it was a 15-year mortgage that we got on the boat, and after 3 years, we paid it off last month.
Yes. So.
So big milestone.
Yep. We've been making extra large payments all throughout, and it's happy to have that done. It worked out really well for us.
Yes.
Do you want to?
Yeah,
Sure. Yeah. I mean, everybody in the world is talking about, is there any concern of coronavirus near our marina? And
at present time, there have been no reports near us in Savannah. We are, of course, keeping an eye on coronavirus.
washing our hands
Just
obsessively.
simply
and-
disinfecting the things after people are in here, and we're at a boatyard, so we're fairly. I mean, we're limiting contact with large groups. You know, we're doing all the
we're
normal
doing-
stuff that
yeah.
most people are. Our biggest concerns are we want to get the boat on the water
so that if
before chaos really breaks loose in the area and things are shut down. You know, Italy just went under mandatory
quarantine, parts of
quarantines,
it, yes.
and I can foresee that happening here in the U.S.
Yeah.
in the future, or people just not staying home and things like that. I want to do that before. I want our boat
floating,
free
I want to
go
be done with the big projects so that we are have enough food and water and supplies on board that we can be anchored out for weeks on end. So that'd be great. We're in a good situation if that happens. Even if we're still on the hard, we've stocked up. We're supplied. And hope everybody else is just in case making their plans and supplies. And yes, we have plenty of wine on board for that as well.
Are we heading north on the intercoastal this spring? And as we just said, we don't have plans yet. We have not decided where we're going yet.
Well, I'm sure we'll go north a little bit just to cross into South Carolina to reset our Georgia clock.
Yes, Georgia, you can only be living on your boat for 2 months.
Yes.
Before you start getting into registration issues.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll cross out of Georgia for sure as soon as we're in the water. Ding. People are suggesting we get the wine out. I mean, we'll probably be doing that as soon as this video ends because we forgot to pre-open anything.
There's wine over there,
I could. Okay, you want me to grab a bottle?
if you want to.
Sure, but you got to give the viewers what they want.
Yeah, if you got, can you have questions for us?
See down the hallway. There's parts of our bed in the hall, all disassembled. Chaos in the boatyard. Okay, what are we gonna drink?
If you get one of the ones on top, see,
Chianti Classico.
that can go with our pizza tonight.
Ooh,
Yeah,
pizza.
this is one. Do you remember the retired dentist who gave this to us? At our village rally, he handed us a bag of wine, which was really sweet.
Oh yes, that guy. Oh, where's the cork pop?
It should be in there on the top corner.
It's actually got put away. Wow.
I occasionally put the wine stuff away. You want a demo of my cork pot? I love my cork pot. We've been using this thing for years. It's got a foil cutter inside. You stab it. And it's got like a... Editing.
Yes, we can celebrate
Yes, there's a
our
lot-
3-year boat anniversary.
Yes. So there's a lot of questions say we nomads or preppers are hard. I wouldn't say quite we're all preppers. So obviously there are some, but I think being nomadic and living in small spaces and always being prepared to go out for 2 or 3 weeks at a time boondocking, we're we're better in tune and better able to live in isolation and more out of congregated spaces. So I definitely feel that RVers and boaters have an advantage in this. We're like, okay, so it's like, okay, I'm going to go out boondocking for 2 weeks. And
Oh, now it's too much this way. There we go. There.
so congrats.
3 years boat anniversary, 3 years in a day, and it's paid off. Cheers. Here's to why not? And maybe she float again soon.
Very nice. It'll go nicely with our pizza. Mm-hmm. Because we did stop at a Costco on the way here. The closest one was down in Jacksonville. And we brought back a whole bunch of frozen stuff to refill. Because we're not just prepping for potential whatever chaos is.
We're prepping for a cruising season.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
we're reprovisioning a boat that's been in storage for 6
Yeah,
months.
so yeah, we had basically stripped out and used up all the stuff on the boat. So we're buying bunches of canned goods and restocking the freezer and all these typical things.
No, we're thinking different. We're thinking, could we survive for a month or two at anchor if we needed to?
I'm sure we could.
Oh, yeah, so we're
then we
thinking
might
that
be
way.
tempted to fish, but no. So,
But
frozen fish last.
but unfortunately, our we have a Dometic CFX freezer that we're on our second one because they don't seem to be very marine friendly.
They have a new version that is supposed to be marine friendly. So yeah.
Yes, but they were not able to get it to us in time, getting back to the boat.
So yeah, we're having freezer issues.
Then
our
freezer has been going in and out, in and out, in and out. So it's not trustworthy. So
yeah,
we're not being able to prep as much as we would like.
We might not have nearly as much frozen goods as we hoped.
But I think we have plenty. Especially complemented with some dry goods and, going ashore every so often, and hopefully some fresh stuff will be available.
Now we got a good question from J.M. Davis. How do we wash our clothes on the boat? And
so we have
the nice thing is when you're out at anchor, you don't have to. You don't have to wear clothes, right?
That's one strategy. But we have a washer dryer combo, the Splendide, that's on board. That's we can wash. We'll have a water maker on board soon, so we'll be able to turn the water that we're in into usable drinking water and washing water. And on a boat, you don't have gray tanks. The water just goes overboard. So we try to use very sea-safe detergent, very minimal
we
detergent.
use the marine-friendly detergent, and so we've had. It's nice to have the laundry on board. And here at the marina we're at, they have a really great laundry facility basically right outside our door. So we've got that for here while we're up on stilts.
Yes. Here's another great question: do you put the van in storage when you get in the water? We have not yet decided what we're doing with the van after we get on the water. It is our daily driver while we are here. And we don't know how many boat projects we're going to try to continue to complete. We have a bunch of little stuff that wouldn't deter us from cruising that we may try to continue to have here. So we will keep the van here for as long as we are here. Right. We do have friends nearby that we can keep the van at, but they did just sell their home, so that's not going to be a long-term solution.
Yeah, they have a space until December. So, we have a potential spot for the van for the short term, but if we go, whichever direction we go, if we get another monthly spot on the boat, we'd probably find a way to get back to the van and then drive it back up and have it as our local transport wherever we're at. So, and you can always find a place just temporarily to store a van.
We can find RV storage, especially for a van.
Yeah.
And if you happen to be within an hour or two of Savannah and you are willing to house our van and park it for a couple, let us know.
Hey.
Serendipity
wins.
That would be awesome too. But yeah, we can always find an RV storage lot, or I'm sure that Sabina and Eckerd wouldn't mind if we brought it down to them either. So.
True. So yeah, might store it down in Sanford. So we already have that invite from them.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
Okay. We're repeating this question is a lot of people curious how far we're going to go this year, and
we don't know.
We at least, hopefully, about 150 feet that way into the water. That is my goal. By the end of the year, our boat is in the water. Yes. Hopefully by the end of the week. Hopefully by maybe tomorrow.
Yes.
But beyond that, we don't plan. We really try not to plan.
Right. The goal is we will cruise probably until September, October. We'll be looking at hurricane season, where the best option is for keeping the boat for the peak of hurricane season again. Yeah, and then we plan to get back to take the van, then across country back to the bus in Arizona and be there probably by November-ish.
Yeah, Thanksgiving would probably be a current target would be to be back in our Benson community by Thanksgiving with the bus and the van.
Yeah, we want to really get to know that community more, and then we would like to do the annual bash with Escapers.
That is mandatory.
And then we're thinking we will probably try to get down to Baja next year before we come back to the boat.
Yes.
So,
winter in Baja, maybe we'll see whales.
Ooh.
Yes. Okay. All our friends are in Baja. A lot of our friends are there this year, and we're like, oh, it looks so good.
Well, that's, plans. We don't really do them. Plans are the worst thing you can pack on a boat.
That is very true. The more flexible you are to things going off the rails for either good or bad, the happier you will be.
Not seeing any other questions, so
hope you guys enjoyed having a little glimpse of our chaos on the boat.
Enjoy. Yeah, it's always fun to look at other people's chaos.
True.
That's fun. Yes.
I hopefully, get to lean against our bed here.
Yes, I was not watching TV that night.
Except
for it blocks your view, because that blocks half the view.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. It's not that the living room's not optimized to have a mattress piled up on half the couch. And we are in Savannah for people who are wondering where we are now.
Yes, if you're joining in late, we are back on the boat. We are on the hard at our boatyard in Savannah, Georgia.
And if anybody is currently in the Savannah area, drop us a note. We have no idea if we'll have any spare time to do anything aside from the chaos of this, but it's always nice to know we've got locals saying hello. So
JM would like to know, do we miss brick and mortar house just to stay for a while and chill? Not really.
We get to borrow them sometimes.
When was the last time
We had the house sit when we did up in October. Back when we had my parents' house, we got to take over
for a
bit.
week.
Yeah.
It is nice to spread out every so often.
Yeah. But our boat is as big as any brick and mortar house I'd want to have, so we get to spread out here.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to living back on the boat and having the extra. After being in the van for so long, it already feels great being here, even in the chaos.
Yes, but it'll be nice to put stuff away and not have toolboxes sitting out and all that other chaos.
We have an offer in on the North-South Carolina border to store the van. Ooh, that if we decide to go north, actually, Sandy, that could work out really well for us, because then that would kind of position it up.
Yeah. Short walk to the waterfront. Drop us an email.
Yeah, Sandy, drop us an email on how to reach you. We can be reached at contact@technomadia.com. So yeah, drop us and that might be a possibility if we decide to continue north from here.
Okay.
So thank you for that very much.
Oh, and here's from Eric. They're also on their boat now. So this is Eric saying, glad you're back on your boat. Hope it splashes soon. They're in the Keys, but itching to start moving slowly north. So these are friends of ours.
Yes, friends of ours.
Friends who now have a boat.
Full-time RVers who also just got a boat to add to their fleet. And we are so looking forward to meeting up with you guys in Terrapin on the water somewhere. Yes. That is a top priority for us this year.
We want to anchor out. So let us know what your cruising plans are, and maybe we will bump into each other gently with fenders in between us. We got a recommendation for a dueling piano bar in Savannah. Thank you, Sandy. We might get out to downtown.
Yes.
See how that goes. And
sail to Bermuda.
Our boat is not a Bermuda boat.
No, I think Eric's could maybe get to Bermuda. Ours is not. We have a fuel range of about 600 miles.
And a Bayliner, the name says it all. It is intended for bays and intercoastal waterways and the Bahamas on good condition.
Yeah,
trips.
Bahamas is a possibility for us to get to with some planning.
This is a good Bahamas boat. A lot of people take this. This boat has been to the Bahamas with previous owners, but anything much further than the Bahamas, this is not the right tool for the job.
Even if we had a way to refuel while underway, which I guess you could technically have a fuel tanker meet you up somewhere.
Well, people who are doing things like that put a 50-gallon barrel or something, a couple of the barrels on their back, and this is not a boat for long cross.
No, and it
trips.
Wouldn't be. I don't think it'd be comfortable for it.
There's no
stabilizers.
This is not a boat for going to Bermuda. Amusing to think about, though. I wonder if anybody's ever even tried with a Bayliner 47.
I don't know.
Probably not. This is not the tool for that job. There's a lot of other boats better. And yes, and Eric's doesn't have the range either, so.
Okay, I guess we're stuck to coastal, Eric and Jeanette.
Yes, looking forward to bumping into you guys. Hey.
Yeah, but it's good to be back. Wheels to keels. It's good.
Wheels to keels. It's nice to have them both. I'm glad we're not just one way or the other. We get to mix it up each year.
But yeah, well, it's really creating an interesting dilemma, because when we wrap up one season, like, I could do another month or two of this.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the solution is that we petition to get 2 or 3 months added to each year.
Okay, I'm down for that. I'm not
All in favor?
Yeah, let's make the years longer. Cool.
All right, guys, I think we're going to go bake us a pizza, because we actually can do that here on the boat.
Yes, and because it's frozen and we have to use up our frozen goods because the freezer is failing.
Yes.
Hopefully they get that fixed soon.
Yes. But yes, it's been a very frustrating week. If we'd done this video on Friday, we probably would have not looked as relaxed and happy. Thank you, Life is Short, for saying that. But yeah, we progressed over the weekend by the crew, and we took a break and went and saw friends, so that was really good.
Yeah, we got away from the boatyard, and the crew worked the weekend, so we have windows in our boat again, port lights. So that's a very important gating factor for getting back in the water, is having port lights, so the water doesn't come in the side of the boat.
Well, and so they can put them back in.
Yes, because
we had them all rebedded and resealed and put new lenses in it. Just a nice 20-year-old. They're 20 years old, and they were leaking a little bit when we encountered waves and
Yeah,
things like that.
the front ones were leaking a lot. So yeah, they needed to be redone. And boats are endless projects, and
Yeah,
so
and the other big project that we had them do here was service the after coolers, which you should do every few years, and they, as far as we could tell, hadn't been done in a long time on this boat.
And what turned into a big project started out as we had a leak under our bed from the fresh water tank. Let's investigate that, which turned into tearing the entire bedroom apart, disassembling the bed, getting the tank out, raising the tank, and finding and hopefully patching these little pinholes that we found, and finding a way to prevent them from happening again in the future. So that's why our bedroom is in super chaos, is they dismantled everything. But hopefully tomorrow we start putting it back together.
So anyway, the after coolers have been serviced, back to that topic.
Yes.
And they just need to be reinstalled. So that's the other major thing that's keeping us from being launched, because we don't want to launch without working engines. We're having just general engine service done, all oil, impellers, new belts, transmission oils due for change. So just general engine maintenance done. We're just having it all done here. It's all stuff we could do ourselves, but it's stuff that we had hoped they'd have done by the time we got here, so we don't have to do it.
The general engine maintenance we could have done ourselves. Like replacing redoing the after coolers and rebedding the windows.
It was beyond our capability and interest level. So and then we're also having the bow thruster service while we're out of the water. We had new bottom paint done. We're having the doors coming in and hopefully just, updated and things like that.
There's a long list of projects, and actually now that there's so many of them behind schedule, we're kind of punting on quite a few of them too, of the things we'd hope to get done here. We just mainly right now want to get back in the water. So.
We'll sail close by to make sure no issues have to repair. We'll probably stay within a day or two's cruise for a while, just mainly because we're going to want to relax.
Yes. Yeah, and we'll be then once we're on our own on the boat, we've got all of our little projects to finish on the boat and just getting things done. So yeah, we're not going to go super far, super fast. So if anything comes up, we could circle back to the boat.
Yes. Raised by Wolf says a boat bust out another 1,000. That is
10,000.
Completely inaccurate. That is a myth that goes around everywhere. That boat means break out another 1,000.
Maybe RV means that.
Maybe the RV means that. Boat really means break out another 10,000. Do not let anyone lead you astray on that, okay?
Boats can be very expensive. They don't necessarily have to be, but they easily can be. If you're not, and you definitely on a boat are better off doing as much stuff on your own as you can, because it gets expensive. But that's what life is about.
Yeah, and it's always a choice of there's stuff that we can do and we will do, but we also have to keep in mind we're working full time. And,
when we could spend 8 hours working
and making money,
as opposed to that 8 hours necessarily doing
stuff that I want to know how to do it. So we have already proven we know how to maintain our engine, but there is a choice for us, it's like it's cheaper for us to hire some stuff out just because, number one, it's not fun.
The more fun projects or the more specialized ones or unique ones, like our electrical system is all self-done, just because it's hard to. We'd have to start explaining from scratch, teaching people of the basics of lithium and fancy inverters and stuff. So we're like, okay, we're not going to teach you how to do this just so you can do it. We'll do the electrical ourselves, and of course we do all the basic plumbing and all the other general stuff. We do that ourselves because it's just easier and we know the systems and
Yep, so it's always a choice. When you own something, it's a matter of your resource. You have the resources and skills, time or money, and we find our balance, and everyone finds their own balance and how they want to go forward. We're in a stage of our lives where we are
still working.
We're working full time. We are earning an income that can afford for us to pay for people to do things. So
sometimes
we find our balance. What makes sense for us to do? What makes sense for us to hire out? Because sometimes hiring it out is more frustrating than just doing it yourself.
Yeah, sometimes hiring it out, you end up having to redo it. So there's we got to find that balance too. We're still learning that.
Yeah, but we're always learning. We don't just like, hey, go do this. We want to learn what we're doing so we understand it, so that if we're out there and we have to maintain it or fix it, we can. So there's balance. Everything's about balance. All right. Speaking of balance, I think it's time to go bake a pizza.
Bake a pizza and have some wine.
Thanks for joining in. Once we are out of boat chaos, I hope to get around to actually producing some videos. We're about 6 months behind on content. We filmed a bunch of stuff on boat life or on bus life, and on the trip across country. And
we've got a video filmed on our new lithium battery systems that we put in the bus, and all. So we've still got bus videos to make, and there's an Our Village rally one probably, and Fun stuff.
Is it cheaper to trade in on a newer boat with less issues? No.
Oh, have you seen how much a newer boat costs?
Yeah, a newer boat would be $500,000 to $1 million.
Yeah, probably.
Minimum, for especially for this size and quality. And what we've had it is far, far, far less than that.
Yes.
And we love our boat. We don't want a brand new boat.
And the nice thing about having an older boat that you put money into, and same with like we bought our bus was an $8,000 bus that we put a ton of money into, is you get to do it your way in the way that you want it. And most newer boats or most newer RVs, they make design decisions that I would not do, and they do system decisions. They do electrical systems that I would not want, and so I prefer to start from scratch or start from something an older foundation and get to do it our way and generally the better way. So, but everybody has to make their own trade off on that and decide how it would go. Okay.
Oh, I think Richard met Nikki and Jason. They asked me to give you their best. Glad I got to meet you. Are you the one who supplied this wine? Did we meet you at our village rally? Are you the
Yes,
retired
I think he
dentist?
is.
I think you are. We are drinking the Chianti you gave us. So thank you, Richard. Thank you for tuning in. All right.
Okay.
We are going to go and have dinner now. Thank you for joining in. We will see you next time.
And yeah, next live hopefully will be from the water floating. That'd be awesome. With the sunset maybe.
It would be.
See you out there.
Remember, wash your hands.
Oh,
Terrorist fist bumps. Greet people like this.
yes.
Whatever
Live long
you need
and
to do.
prosper.
Be safe.
Okay. Ding.